The most beautiful rage ever painted, The Fallen Angel by Cabanel. This is not a devil. This is a god who has fallen, with wings still glowing and a gaze that still burns. And look at those wings. They're not white. They shimmer, with gold, violet, deep green and pale copper, like sunlight caught in storm clouds. They carry the last light of where he came from, because Lucifer means light bringer. He was heaven's radiance before the fall. The color hasn't left him, it clings to him, even here in exile, because the fall didn't strip his beauty, it revealed it. He remains luminous, not despite his pain, but because of it. And that is what makes him unbearable to look at. In 1847, Alexandre Cabanel was just 24, young, brilliant, trained in the rules of academic art. But already he felt something stir beneath the surface, a need to break free. To say something no one dared to say out loud. So he painted the fallen angel, not a demon, not a monster, but a being of impossible beauty, crushed by judgment, glowing with shame and rage. Lucifer sits on the edge of heaven's ruin. He's not weeping, he's burning. One arm covers his face, but not his eyes. Because the eyes say everything: pride, fury, humiliation. Not for what he did, but for being cast out for it. There's no blood. No violence, just a single tear, and a gaze that dares you to look away. Lucifer didn't fall because he was evil. He fell because he refused to kneel, because he believed he could be more, because he wanted more. And that's what made this painting so dangerous. It was David against Goliath, but Cabanel's weapon wasn't a stone, it was a brush. Cabanel wasn't just depicting a myth. He was confronting power, religious power, social power, artistic power. In an age when art was meant to glorify virtue and obedience, he gave us rebellion wrapped in beauty. And that rebellion looked like us. Cabanel captures that instant with terrifying precision. The moment after the fall, when the dust settles, when the silence is louder than the storm. Lucifer doesn't scream, he doesn't beg, he sits, alone, and he knows. He knows what's been taken, and he knows he'll never go back. But look closer, at his body. His arms are tense, folded in on themselves, as if trying to contain something too vast to hold. One hand clenches the other, fingers locked, twisted, desperate. Not from weakness, but from the unbearable effort to stay composed, to stay proud. His forearms are strong, defined, not relaxed, not defeated. There's power still pulsing under the skin, and that power is being forced down, inward, silenced. His hair is wild, not elegant, not composed, but scattered, torn by wind or war or fury. It says what the rest of him cannot, that this fall was violent, that something divine was torn from him. But here's the paradox. Even in ruin, he radiates power. That's what makes it unbearable to look at, because we don't see evil, we see defiance, we see dignity in exile. That's why critics were stunned. Some accused Cabanel of romanticizing the devil, of making sin seductive, but others saw it for what it was, a mirror. This wasn't just about Lucifer. It was about every artist who had been rejected, every soul who refused to conform, every person who had ever been punished for standing tall when they were told to bow. And Cabanel. Cabanel wasn't just painting an angel, he was painting himself. A young artist facing an unforgiving world, asking the question that echoes across time: if I lose everything by staying true to myself, was it still worth it? The fallen angel doesn't answer that. It doesn't preach, it simply looks back at you and waits. Because maybe the point isn't salvation. Maybe the point is that even in our darkest fall, we are still breathtakingly human. If this painting stirred something in you, leave a comment. If you've ever refused to kneel, leave a like. And if you believe that beauty and pain can live in the same moment, subscribe for more stories that art was never meant to tell. Because sometimes, falling is just the beginning.